Here's your recap for the September 19th, 2025 episode of The Young and the Restless. Amanda showed up at Cain's train to get an update on where things stand. Cain said there were so many ways to take that, including where he stood with his kids. Cain apologized, noting that he knew Amanda was talking about his business. He said his original plan was back on. Cain wanted her to call Michael and Phyllis. Phyllis answered Amanda's call and asked her pal if she wanted to get together for drinks. Amanda said Cain wanted to see her. Cain said, "We're going to need everyone charged to make this plan happen." Cain said they were going to launch an attack on every major company in Genoa City. At Billy's house, he finished a drink and threw the empty glass against the wall. Michael greeted Lauren at society and told his wife he missed her. Lauren sensed Michael wasn't listening to her about Cricket's wedding gowns, so she purposely described them inaccurately to get his attention. Michael assured Lauren that everything was fine. He just missed her. Michael suggested his wife reschedule her meeting with Christine. Michael didn't answer Amanda's call. He sent it to voicemail. She then texted him, "Cain needs to see you, urgent." Michael fibbed that his message was from a politician. Then, Lauren got a text from Chris asking her to meet. A concerned Lauren left. Michael texted Amanda that he was on his way. Phyllis entered Cain's train, ready to execute her first steps. Amanda quipped that Phyllis made good time in getting there. Amanda pointed out to Phyllis that she had been working on the AI plan for months. Phyllis snarked that she kept that secret from her friends. Amanda said her job was to keep things from venturing into illegal territory. Phyllis raved to Cain that he didn't need another lawyer. Cain said he had no intention of losing Amanda. Phyllis asked about Maddie and Charlie. Cain said that was not to be discussed. She wanted to know if Billy was going to be a part of this. Cain said Billy had too much baggage. Phyllis asked how he took the news. Cain said it didn't matter how Billy took the news. Phyllis claimed not to care. She pointed out that Billy's agenda would have clashed with theirs. Cain said it was his agenda, not theirs. Cain asked if Phyllis would have a problem with Michael being on board. Michael entered and assured Cain that he and Phyllis had worked out their differences. Cain advised Phyllis to let him decide who he should bring into his inner circle. Michael apologized for being late. He added he didn't have a lot of time. "So, does your wife know that you're here?" Phyllis asked. Michael assured Phyllis that she did. "I'm a vault," Phyllis quipped when Cain asked if everyone could keep a secret. He declared that the payoff will be massive. Cain confided in Michael that what they'll be doing might be illegal, but assured him that his hands wouldn't get dirty. Michael turned to Amanda and shared that he was shocked she was going along with all this. Amanda said her perspective is that Cain cannot have enough backup as he steps into some gray areas. Amanda said it's their job to make sure that using the AI software doesn't cross any lines and nothing comes back to Cain. Amanda noted that Michael was used to getting his hands dirty. Phyllis asked Michael if he was getting cold feet. Phyllis claimed that she felt attacked by Michael. "Enough," Cain barked. He said he would not tolerate any infighting. Michael said he wasn't sure why he was being questioned. Michael said that he knew how to massage the law since he was in Victor's employ for years. Phyllis said they're not sure what Michael's role was. Amanda said, "All for one and one for all," in the words of the original Dumas. Amanda left to take a phone call. Michael and Phyllis asked what was next. Then, Billy showed up. He accused Cain of not knowing what the hell he was doing if he was out and Phyllis was in. At Crimson Lights, Cricket and Danny shared their enthusiasm about their upcoming wedding and spending the rest of their lives together. Daniel entered and quipped that the two should get a room. Danny asked his son if he was okay. He said his brain was fried, and he changed the subject to their wedding. Chris said it was now going to be in November. "I love you," Danny told Cricket. Lauren greeted Chris at Crimson Lights and told her there's a setup at Marchetti for her to try on her gowns. Lauren wanted Danny to be kept away from the viewing. Danny said his breath would be taken away no matter what his bride wore. Chris and Lauren left to look at the gowns. Alone with Daniel, Danny asked his son how he was doing. Daniel shared that he met with Mariah at her request and that he was asked not to tell Tessa about it. Daniel said that Mariah asked him to look after Tessa while she went away and got help. He wasn't sure what kind of aid. Daniel noted that she didn't look like she was on the road to recovery. Daniel recapped his talk with Mariah to Daniel. He wasn't sure how to handle Mariah's extended absence. Danny asked his son about his growing feelings for Tessa. He wasn't sure how he felt about Mariah's request. He said that it was hard watching their relationship fall apart. Daniel told his father that his feelings for Tessa don't matter, but Danny felt otherwise. Danny pointed out to Daniel that he'd been put in an incredibly difficult situation, and he was still reeling from his own loss. Daniel said he didn't know how to handle things. Danny suggested that Daniel tell Tessa that she shouldn't waste any time and that the troubles of today don't have to affect the future. Daniel said that when Tessa isn't around, he would think about her. He hastened to add that he would never come between Tessa and Mariah. Danny asked his son what if they were to divorce. Daniel said they're not going to get divorced. Daniel proclaimed that he'd never do anything to break them up. "I'm your father," Danny interjected. He said he can see his son's feelings for her. Danny said he never thought Chris and Paul would split, and he'd get a second chance. He pointed out that you just never know where life is going to go. Danny said that you can't suppress your feelings. He cautioned that it will fester and cause him problems. Daniel said his personal feelings need to stay private. He walked away. Meanwhile, Cricket tried different gowns on as she was photographed in them at a studio at Marchetti. Chris asked Lauren if there was a way she could thank her. Chris said she never thought she'd get married again. She added that when things ended with Paul, she wasn't sure she'd ever find romance. Lauren said Danny was Cricket's true north. Chris said that Lauren found her perfect guy in Michael. Chris sensed something was wrong. She urged her pal to open up. Lauren confided in Christine that a text Michael got after a call he sent to voicemail unnerved him. Lauren suspected that Victor was trying to lure Michael back to his business. She recapped that Michael called her about a job offer, but that he turned it down. Lauren said she can't be sure it was Victor on the call, but whoever it was made Michael very uneasy. Chris said that she knew Michael, and he would weigh the pros and cons. She wasn't sure why Michael would go back to work for Victor. Lauren said Michael missed Victor, but she couldn't see him going back to him. Lauren said that Michael was Victor's most loyal employee. Chris asked if Michael would go back on his promise to Lauren. The department store heiress wondered if Victor's hold on Michael was powerful enough to get him back under his employ. On a lighter note, Lauren asked Chris if she had a preference regarding which wedding gown she'd like to get married in. Lauren had one, but she wouldn't reveal it. Chris said maybe she could find a way to wear all three. Lauren was happy that her dear friend was so happy. Chris said this will be a wedding to remember. Hello everyone! Welcome back to my channel, Pulse Canvas. It's me, Julie here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching. So let's dive into today's video. This week on The Young and the Restless was a tough one for Billy Abbott. His entire life is now in shambles, all because of Cain's tempting offer to give him the AI program he claims to have. As some fans have pointed out, we don't even know whether he really has it. On last Friday's episode of Y&R, Billy's life was on an upswing. He and Sally were excited to attend the launch party at Society for their new company, Abbott Communications, only to find out Cain canceled it. Billy's disappointment faded when Cain offered to give him the AI program so he could use it to overpower Newman Enterprises and reclaim Chancellor Industries. This week on The Young and the Restless, Billy and Sally's lives were blown apart after Cain offered Billy the dangerous and illegal software. Sally made it crystal clear she wants nothing to do with it. She begged Billy not to accept Cain's offer, but Billy's desire to win back the company his mother Jill sold to Victor overshadowed Sally's pleas. We could feel Sally's torment. It can't be easy to see the man you love go off the deep end, knowing you can't do anything to stop him, as hard as you may try. Even Jack and Victoria tried to talk some sense into Billy, but to no avail. She knew, just from looking into his eyes, that the recovered gambling addict was in gambling mode again. But this time, Billy is gambling with the possibility that he could end up in prison if he uses the AI software. Now that Cain has changed his mind about giving Billy the AI program, what's Billy going to do next? He has no job prospects. He's blown up his relationship with Sally by lying to her and telling her Jack pulled his funding for Abbott Communications when he didn't. We can't imagine she will stay with him after this. Billy's world is crumbling, and it seems like his best option is to return to Jabot. The Y&R writers have bounced him around from Chance Com to Winters Inc., to Chancellor Industries to Abbott Communications. It's time for Billy to rejoin his brother Jack at their family's company, Jabot. Jack was happy with Billy's performance there, and Billy seemed more stable and secure. He probably never should have left in the first place. Jack would probably have no problem finding a position for Billy at Jabot. Maybe he could allow Billy to run his own special division, where he could donate a percentage of the profits to a charity that supports treatment for gambling addicts. Jack would be happy and relieved to have his brother back at their father, John Abbott's company. But would Kyle and Diane accept Billy's return to Jabot? Diane might be more accepting than Kyle, considering she knows how much Jack loves his younger brother. Kyle is a different story, since he's been known to act entitled in the past when it comes to who has what title at Jabot, so we don't think he'd be crazy about the idea. And Billy himself might not want to return to Jabot, since he wants to make Jack proud by running his own company. Apart from Jabot, Billy hungers for recognition, and we just want to see him get it, after all the years he's been striving for it. His portrayer, Jason Thompson, is phenomenal at conveying that hunger and drive. He makes us want Billy to succeed. Many fans of The Young and the Restless have been wanting Billy to get a win for a long time now, even if it means he has to do it by returning to Jabot and being part of a team instead of working solo. Either way, he is long overdue for a win because it's heartbreaking to watch him constantly fail in all his endeavors. He also needs to forget about beating Victor. It isn't worth all the emotional turmoil it's caused him. On the Cain train, Amanda shows up unexpectedly looking for an update on where things stand. Ashby informs her everything's back in motion and asks her to call Michael and Phyllis for a meeting. They're moving forward full force with the original plan. Amanda summons Phyllis, who is at the Overlook, and then assures Cain the redhead is ready to hit the ground running. Cain declares they're about to launch an attack on every major company in Genoa City. At Society, Michael nuzzles Lauren, whom he's missed so much. She tries telling him about Christine's wedding gowns, but realizes he's not listening. She instantly assumes something's happened. Michael's busily trying to distract her with romance when he gets a call and text from Amanda and ignores them. Lauren becomes more suspicious. At Crimson Lights, Christine tells Danny that Lauren should be there soon to go over her 3 wedding dress choices. They gush and enthuse about marrying each other and are kissing when Daniel walks in and calls, "Get a room." They notice he seems down. Daniel fobs them off and they continue cooing. On the Cain train, Amanda tells Cain she can't reach Michael as Phyllis shows up. After putting his personal life off limits, Cain explains they're back in business. Billy's not a part of it because he comes with too much baggage. Phyllis asks, "How'd he take the news?" It turns out he's taking it exactly as one would expect. At Billy's place, he throws back a drink and makes his way toward the bottle again before turning and smashing his empty glass against the wall. At Society, Lauren gets a message from Christine. Seizing the moment, Michael urges his wife to go. Lauren is clearly suspicious as she walks out. Michael texts Amanda that he's on his way. Back on the Cain train, Ashby once again sets Phyllis straight that this isn't their agenda, but his. He hopes Michael's involvement won't be a problem for her. The redhead shrugs that she's a professional. Michael wheels in, claiming they've put their issues behind them. Phyllis complains that she doesn't yet know the details of the plan, so she doesn't understand why he needs another attorney. Needling, she asks if Michael's wife knows where he is. Michael lies that she does. Cain says they've agreed to keep the attorney's involvement quiet. For the next phase of his plan, they'll need all hands on deck. It won't be easy, but the payoff will be massive. Lauren meets Christine at Crimson Lights and informs Danny that he can't see the dresses. Daniel glazes over as Danny gushes about seeing his bride for the first time on his wedding day. After Christine leaves with Lauren, Danny asks his son to tell him what's going on. Daniel fills his dad in on his meeting with Mariah, which left him unsettled. How is he supposed to help Tessa through an extended absence when he doesn't know what's going on? Danny wonders if some of his conflict isn't about his growing feelings for Tessa. Daniel says his feelings don't matter, and worries about inserting himself into their problems. Having lost his wife, he knows that rifts take up precious time. Like a dog with a bone, Danny says he's sure his son is being eaten up inside about his feelings for Tessa. Daniel makes it clear he wouldn't try to come between Mariah and Tessa. Danny prods, "What if they get divorced?" He goes on about life taking unexpected turns and worries that his son's feelings will fester if he doesn't talk about it. Daniel wants to keep that private. He won't let his feelings get in the way. At a studio, Christine tries on 3 different wedding dresses as Lauren cheers her on. Young and restless viewers will choose the one she ultimately wears. Find out how here. After, Christine can see something's bothering Lauren, who confides that she felt Michael was hiding something from her tonight. He got a call and a text that completely unnerved him, and he then deflected. She's worried Victor is trying to lure him back. They debate this for a while, and Lauren, shaken, vows there will be hell to pay if that's the case, and Michael is keeping it from her. On the Cain train, Ashby warns that what they're doing is illegal, but they will not be implicated. Michael's surprised that Amanda is on board with this. She alludes to gray areas and says it's her job to make sure this doesn't come back on Cain. She and Phyllis question if Michael is getting cold feet. Michael accuses Phyllis of trying to push him out. They bicker until Cain hollers, "Enough!" Michael reminds them he's been working for Victor for years. He can massage the law when necessary. Phyllis wants to know Michael's exact role. Amanda declares, "All for one and one for all." As Amanda steps away to take a call, Michael tells Cain he'd also like to know his role. Just then, Billy busts in, fuming about Ashby pushing him out of the way when he still has Phyllis involved. "You don't know what the hell you're doing, Cain!" he hollers. On September 20th, 2017, a Daytime Emmy Award-winning actor and his wife welcomed their second child, a baby girl. Today marks the 8th birthday of the young and the restless star Jason Thompson and his wife Paloma's daughter, and we wanted to give little Rome Coco a happy birthday shout-out by looking back through some of the precious memory-filled photos and videos her dad has shared with his Instagram followers. Fast asleep in true baby fashion, Rome's proud papa introduced her to the world and stated, "Rome Coco Thompson, September 20th, 2017, welcome to Earth." Rome took a nap on her parents' bed with a laptop nearby, where someone clearly had been trying to get some work done while she was sleeping on the job. If it were up to her, Rome, being the girl boss that her daddy said she was, would likely order everyone to take naps often throughout the day. When she wasn't snoozing the day away, Rome spent some time awake in Thompson's arms as he stared down at Daddy's girl. And while she still had some awake time in her, Rome laid next to her older brother Bowie, as Thompson expressed. "Sometimes I still can't believe these two exist, brother and sister. My oh my, the love I have for these two." The CBS soap star gave thanks to 2017, especially for its 263rd day, which was the birth of our sweet girl Rome Coco, who smells of cotton candy and roses. A 36-inch sink to be exact. How adorable is that? All it took was a kiss on the head from her daddy, and Rome's face shined bright with the most precious smile. Thompson posted a pic with Rome and her brother, along with a special message for their mom on Mother's Day. "Hey Paloma, thanks for growing cool kids." Once again, Rome's smile lit up the room as her dad squeezed her tight and vowed that she would forever be his Rome Coco. What do you do when you're bored on a plane? This is what Rome loves to do, yank big brother's hair. We've all likely been there, done that to our siblings. Well, maybe not on a plane. To mark her big one-year milestone, Thompson posted various photos along with a special message to his sweet Rome Coco and stated, "She's a force. She's vocal. She's doesn't let her brother get away with much. She lets you know what she wants and when she wants it. She is strong. She's got the sweetness and grace of her mother, thankfully. She's my little girl. She's our little girl." And speaking of her getting what she wants, guess who got the cake and ate it too? With the water in the background and a kiss to his daughter's cheek, Thompson celebrated Rome's second birthday by saying, "There's no one like you in this world, baby girl. And I love you like no other, always and everywhere." Here's a peek into Rome's Halloween fun back in 2019, as she and Bowie walked hand in hand with each carrying a bucket of treats. Fans can take a walk with Thompson, Rome, and brother Bowie as they marched down the trail on a sunny morning. Thompson shared a pic from Rome's birthday celebration in 2022 and expressed, "Happy birthday, babe girl." In March 2023, Thompson posted a cute photo of Rome's morning look and captioned it with, "I woke up like this." The actor posted a photo with his girl in January of 2025 that was simply captioned, "Rome Coco." Amelia, who plays Victoria Newman on The Young and the Restless, brings an understated and vulnerable charm to her role, as evidenced by the passionate performance she gave this week when Vicky and Jack confronted Billy. It's clear that Heinle is capable of much more. As a result, Soap Central is bestowing the actress with our Performer of the Week honors for Y&R. Jack Abbott didn't need a host of folks from Billy's life to stage an intervention. He only required one person, Victoria Newman, Billy's former wife and the mother of his children, Johnny and Katie. There's always been a cordial bond between Jack and his former stepdaughter. The two met at society and exchanged pleasantries before getting down to business. Jack needed Vicky's help with Billy as he was going off the rails. Jack brought Vicky up to speed on Billy's involvement with Cain and his AI software. Victoria has a great poker face, as she feigned knowing anything specific about Cain's AI product. When Vicky showed up with Jack at Billy's home, she was prepared to go head-to-head with her gambling ex. At first, Vicky didn't say much as Jack and Billy went back and forth, but the look in Heinle's eyes read that Vicky knew she was in for a fight with her ex-husband. Everything Jack had warned her about was true. Vicky had been down this road with Billy before. She knows when he turns to gambling, there's no reaching him, but she tried anyway. Billy proclaimed that he didn't need his ex-wife and his brother telling him how to live his life. "And he's back!" Victoria exclaimed. This Billy, with the gambling addict's gleam in his eye, who only thinks about himself. Forget about how this affects anyone else in his life. Billy shouted that Vicky and Jack could call what he was doing revenge, given Victor's treatment of him over the years. Heinle had Victoria shake her head in disgust as Billy's ex realized he was going down some dark, familiar paths. The intensity of the scenes called for the characters to talk and even yell over one another. Heinle made sure that Vicky's passionate feelings about where Billy was going didn't get lost in the melee. When Billy accused his Victoria of not knowing what she was talking about, Heinle had her character yell over him, "Do you know, Billy? Do you know what you're talking about?" Nobody knows a person like an ex-spouse. Victoria told Billy that she knew he was gambling again. "I saw it in your eyes when I walked in here," Victoria insisted. "You got the fever again, and you got it bad, I can tell." Billy continued to deny and deflect, but that only fueled Heinle to bring more intensity to her The Young and the Restless character. "I can see it," Vicky insisted. "There may not be a huge pile of money on the table, but the stakes are just as high. No matter how far off the grid it takes you, you're all in, right?" Victoria asked two rhetorical questions in an effort to let Billy know how bad off he is. "Have you broken the law for Cain yet? Do you want Johnny and Kate to visit their dad in prison?" A frustrated Vicky and Jack left after failing to make an impact on Billy. Heinle, however, made a powerful impression on viewers as Victoria did her best to make her ex-husband realize he was rolling the dice with his future, and the odds may not be in his favor. The Young and the Restless, spoilers for Tuesday, September 23rd, reveal that Claire Newman will get a tempting Los Angeles invitation, while Victoria Newman warns Kyle Abbott about his next move. Since Kyle has been frantic to patch things up with Claire, he keeps saying and doing the wrong thing. Instead of giving Claire the time and space she needs to figure all this out, Kyle keeps pressuring her and making matters worse. On Tuesday's Y&R episode, Victoria will pass along some advice that Kyle didn't ask for. Whether Kyle wants to hear it or not, Victoria will feel the need to weigh in on what's best for Claire. Victoria may warn Kyle that his behavior is only going to push Claire further away. If Kyle complains about Holden Novak, Victoria may argue that clashing with him will only shove Claire further in his direction. In the meantime, Claire will open up to Holden about wanting a break from all the drama in Genoa City. That'll give Holden the idea to take Claire with him on his business trip to Los Angeles, so he'll invite her to join him. Claire may have some reservations and worry this would be inappropriate, but Holden might contend that there's nothing wrong with two friends taking a little LA trip together. Holden will work hard to sell Claire on this, but Kyle won't be pleased whenever he inevitably gets updates on his new rival's Los Angeles offer. Over with Sally Spectra and Audra Charles, they'll have a brainstorming session regarding their future. Now that Abbott Communications is a thing of the past, Sally will break that news to Audra and blame Billy Abbott for blowing up all their plans. Nevertheless, Sally and Audra may agree not to throw a pity party for themselves. It'd be better to go ahead and start planning some new career directions, so Audra and Sally will have a strategy session instead. Plus, Audra will eventually decide to make another pitch to Nate Hastings about reigniting their romance, but she's not going to get her reunion wish. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Nate will turn Audra down all over again soon, so stay tuned. The Young and the Restless recap for Monday, September 22nd, reveals that Cain Ashby and Tracy Abbott will have a flirty reunion, while Tessa Porter decides to investigate Mariah Copeland's hotel horror. At Crimson Lights, Daniel Romalotti Jr. will admit to Tessa that Mariah asked him to look after her along with Aria Porter Copeland. Based on the way Mariah talked, Daniel will worry that she might not be coming back. Tessa will mention that Mariah shared her plan to get help in Boston, but she didn't think her wife would leave without saying goodbye. Daniel will wonder if Mariah said anything about what happened, so Tessa will confess that Mariah revealed she tried to kill someone. However, Mariah bolted without offering any further details. After Tessa reflects on Mariah being different after her business trip, she'll resolve to investigate at the hotel where Mariah stayed and get some answers. Tessa will worry about walking into something sketchy, so Daniel will offer to go with her and help with the investigation. On Cain's train, he'll push Billy Abbott to accept his decision and go fix things with Sally Spectra. Billy will assume Michael Baldwin is his replacement and toss some threats around before stomping off. Cain will put his new fixer to work and order Michael to go contain Billy. After Billy makes his way to Society's bar for a double scotch, Michael will come along and try to settle him down. However, Billy will pick up on the fact that Michael's trying to neutralize him. After Billy makes it clear that Cain's made an enemy and won't like what comes next, he'll take off. At the Abbott mansion, Jack Abbott and Diane Jenkins Abbott will catch up with Tracy following her return to Genoa City. That'll bring some talk about Billy going off the rails and about Cain's comeback. Tracy will reflect on developing a close friendship with Cain about 6 years ago, which he ultimately wanted to be more. Although Tracy turned Cain down, she'll admit to feeling flattered and getting a good book out of it since he inspired a character. Tracy will struggle to wrap her head around the Aristotle Dumas situation and this new version of Cain that's shaking things up. Afterward, Tracy will bump into Michael at Society, so they'll have a little catch-up session. Once Cain and Phyllis arrive to have dinner together, they'll spot Michael with Tracy and decide to approach them. Cain will seem delighted to see Tracy and will greet her briefly before joining Michael outside. That's where Cain will put pressure on Michael to fix their Billy issue, so Michael will try to convince him that he can handle it. Back inside, Phyllis and Tracy will reflect on their Martin Laurent nightmares and all the trauma they've had to cope with. Cain will eventually pop back up for a somewhat flirty moment with Tracy, so Phyllis will look weirded out as she watches nearby. Next, on Monday's Y&R episode, Billy will arrive at the Abbott mansion, so he'll catch Jack and Diane off guard. After Billy admits Jack was right about Cain, he'll want to make a deal and will push his brother to team up on Cain's takedown. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Jack will have to decide whether he's in or out, so stay tuned for updates on any troubling news to come. The Young and the Restless spoilers for the next 2 weeks, September 22nd to October 3rd, reveal that there'll be an attempted murder investigation while Sharon Newman faces some alarm bells. Some LA mayhem will also loom, so here's what Y&R fans can look forward to. During the week of September 22-26, Tracy Abbott will return and catch up with Cain Ashby, so there'll be some mentions about their almost romance in the past. Billy Abbott will also seek Jack Abbott's help to stop Cain in his tracks, but he may not approve of his brother's new ally. That's because Jack and Victor Newman will seriously consider coming together as a Cain takedown team. Nikki Newman will definitely be thrown for a loop when when she hears about Victor and Jack mulling over a partnership. Over with Kyle Abbott, he'll get some words of wisdom from Victoria Newman and ultimately land in another heated confrontation with Audra Charles. Meanwhile, Claire Newman will have to come up with a response for Holden Novak when he proposes that she should come on his Los Angeles trip as well. Other Y&R spoilers say Lauren Fenmore Baldwin will dig her heels in with Michael Baldwin and refuse to let him talk his way out of a tough topic. Michael may have no choice but to confess all the Cain and Victor details in the end. Cain will ultimately decide a particular alliance is finished. So could that be due to Lauren blabbing about Michael's spy games for Victor? Lauren's going to do something drastic, so stay tuned for updates on any betrayals she might make to protect Michael. Back with Victor, he'll make Cain an offer that seems downright irresistible. Victor might promise Cain a Lily Winters reunion and a restored relationship with the twins in exchange for doing what he wants. Cain may doubt that Victor can actually achieve all that, but Victor might vow to make it all happen and try to lock in an agreement. Whatever the case, Cain will contemplate his future while Sally ends up doing the same after Billy's ultimatum. Billy may contend that he's not backing down from his vengeful behavior and push Sally to either accept that or split from him romantically. As for Tessa Porter, she'll think it's time to visit the hotel where everything went wrong for Mariah Copeland. Daniel Romalotti Jr. will suggest he could go with Tessa and help her search for answers. The week of September 29th, October 3rd may bring Daniel and Tessa's trip. So will they be able to uncover any details about the stranger that Mariah tried to smother with a pillow? Tessa and Daniel will investigate an attempted murder, though it's possible Mariah lied if she actually killed that man. Sharon Newman may face alarm bells in more ways than one if she gets news on Tessa's investigative trip with Daniel, and has to face some Noah Newman concerns too. Sharon and Nick Newman will get thrown into a mystery storyline involving Noah and some danger in Los Angeles this October, so they may see the first warning signs once the month gets underway. If Claire winds up going to LA with Holden, there's a chance they might get tangled up in the same dangerous drama. Regardless, Sienna Bacall, Roger Howarth's character, and Detective Burrow will all be part of the Los Angeles action that's on the way. The Young and the Restless spoilers say the next 2 weeks will bring some shockers and shakeups, so stay tuned. For nearly 5 decades, The Young and the Restless has been built on the volatile foundation of Newman family drama. At the epicenter of that storm, you'll almost always find Adam Newman, the brilliant black sheep son of Victor Newman, whose entire life has been a battle for legitimacy, power, and a trust he can never seem to secure. In recent months, however, a deafening silence has surrounded the character. His conspicuous absence from major storylines has left fans asking a crucial question. Is the on-screen silence a prelude to Mark Grossman's off-screen exit? When Mark Grossman stepped into the role in 2019, he faced the daunting task of inheriting a complex legacy character. Skepticism was high, as is often the case in the fiercely loyal world of daytime drama. Yet, Grossman quickly silenced the critics, delivering a layered and unpredictable portrayal that captured Adam's core contradictions. His Adam was ruthless in the boardroom, vulnerable in moments of heartbreak, and forever driven by the deep-seated need to prove he was as much a Newman as his siblings. Grossman made the character a magnetic and essential force in Genoa City once more. That is precisely why whispers of his potential departure have struck such a chord. The speculation has been fueled by unsubstantiated online rumors that the actor may have violated a strict, undisclosed company policy. While the nature of the alleged breach remains a mystery, with theories ranging from contract disputes to social media conduct, official sources have remained tight-lipped, deepening the intrigue. In the world of soaps, where secrets are currency, this off-screen silence has created a vacuum that fans are rushing to fill with their own fears and theories. This uncertainty mirrors Adam's perpetual on-screen struggle. Time and again, he has proven his strategic genius, often outmaneuvering his siblings Nick and Victoria, only to be cast aside by his father, Victor. He has never earned Nicky's acceptance, Nick's trust, or Victoria's respect. His current absence feels like another symbolic rejection, a narrative continuation of the family's refusal to ever fully let him in. Without Adam as the resident disruptor and dark horse, the Newman power dynamics feel incomplete, missing the crucial tension he brings to every family feud and corporate takeover. For now, the most likely explanation is that Adam's absence is a temporary calculated move, a classic soap opera tactic to build suspense for his inevitable, explosive return. In daytime drama, silence is often just the prelude to a storm. However, the persistent rumors about Grossman's status have created a rare moment where on-screen and off-screen drama collide. Whether a story of family betrayal or a behind-the-scenes dispute, one thing is certain: Adam Newman is too essential to be erased. Genoa City is simply less interesting without its most compelling prodigal son, and fans are waiting for the silence to break. Genoa City. Welcome back, Y&R fans. A familiar face has returned to Genoa City, but the town she's come back to is anything but. Spoilers reveal that Tracy Abbott's return, prompted by an urgent text from Jack and Diane, plunges her into a vortex of mystery and family crisis that goes far beyond comforting a grieving friend. While her official purpose was to support Amy Lewis, Tracy immediately sensed a deeper turmoil brewing, a storm centered on two names: Cain Ashby and the enigmatic billionaire Aristotle Dumas. Whispers of Cain Ashby's return have been circulating, but this is not the man many remember. The name now on everyone's lips is Aristotle Dumas, a reclusive and ruthless strategist who operates from the shadows. His influence felt through complex financial maneuvers, rather than public appearances. The terrifying theory gripping the city's elite is that they are one and the same man. If the disgraced Cain has reinvented himself as the formidable Dumas, Genoa City is on the brink of an earthquake, and the first tremors are already shaking the foundations of the Abbott family. The immediate casualty is Billy Abbott, who is spiraling out of control. His rash decisions and emotional volatility make him the perfect pawn in a larger game. Tracy, ever the family's anchor, quickly realizes that protecting Billy is paramount. In a tense meeting with Jack and Diane, she lays down her strategy. We don't chase shadows. Let's go find the source of shadows. For Tracy, this fight is deeply personal. Years ago, she shared a gentle, platonic friendship with Cain, seeing a potential for redemption in him that she even immortalized in one of her novels. Now, she must reconcile that memory with the cold strategist who seems intent on exploiting her brother's weaknesses. Her investigation leads her to society, the city's nexus of power and gossip. There, a carefully measured conversation with Michael Baldwin confirms her fears. Soon after, Cain himself walks in with Phyllis Summers, their combined presence shifting the atmosphere in the room. The brief greeting between Tracy and Cain is thick with unspoken history and future conflict. Later, Tracy confronts Cain directly, questioning if he is, in fact, Aristotle Dumas. He neither confirms nor denies it, instead offering a chilling justification for his actions. Genoa needs rhythm keepers, but without a new rhythm, the city will repeat the same mistakes. He sees himself as that new rhythm, a self-appointed savior whose methods are cloaked in corporate warfare. With the battle lines clearly drawn, Tracy Abbott has stepped up as the Abbott family's lead strategist. Her plan is twofold. First, to insulate Billy from Dumas's influence by creating a supportive and controlled environment for him. Second, to pierce the corporate veil of Aristotle Dumas, not with public accusations, but by meticulously tracing the money and exposing the shell companies he uses. She believes that a man with so much power must have a paper trail. Tracy isn't just defending her family. She's fighting for the soul of a man she once called a friend, and challenging a new world order built on manipulation. The question remains, can the light of transparency she champions expose a man who has mastered the darkness? Or will the new rhythm of Aristotle Dumas be the one that brings Genoa City to its knees? Weddings and soaps go hand in hand, and the young and the restless viewers are not only going to get to see Danny and Christine tie the knot yet again, fans will be able to pick the bride-to-be's wedding dress. Yep, you read that right. Starting today, September 19th, you'll have 24 hours to vote your favorite dress, as Laura Lee Bell shared with US Weekly exclusively. When we heard that we were going to get remarried, I just thought, these people have devoted so much of their lives to our show, Bell told the outlet. Whenever there's a way where we can incorporate them or make them understand how much they mean to us, we can't do this without them. Bell may have already tried on the 3 dresses, but she doesn't have a favorite. She wants the fans to have the final say on what Christine wears while saying "I do" to Danny, something she hasn't done since they first married in 1990. Though Danny has been asked to keep Phyllis away, we have to wonder if she'll stay away, and whether or not she'll have a special wedding gift for them. Remember what she secretly gave Christine and Paul? No one wants a dead octopus in their bed. No one. So, how do you let your voice be heard? While Lauren will be helping Christine plan the wedding today, at 12:30 p.m. PT, 3:30 p.m. ET, fans can head on over to Young and Restless official Instagram to cast their vote one time. In regard to the dresses that Christine won't be wearing, Bell shared, "Having fun with Mandyline with the wedding dresses that didn't make the cut. So, be sure to vote, and let us know which dress you picked by leaving a comment in the section below."